Hi guys, thanks for coming back to my YouTube channel. This is Nellie Phillips. If you're new here, thanks for coming to check out this video. I promised you guys that I would do a little sit down and let you guys know a little bit that's been going on in my life for the last it's probably was before really much more, but in the last 6 months, actually no, we're in the 10th month, so almost 7 9 months, somewhere in there, give or take. um my husband and I decided to separate. We had some financial problems. I will take quite a bit of blame on this situation on myself, on the finance problem, because I was the one who was kind of overseeing the finances. Um, so I will take the blame on that, on some of it, because I was not, um, I guess, as honest with him as I should have, with that situation. And I would say, no, we really don't have the finances for that. But I wouldn't really fight him either when he would go get the new Jeeps or the new $300 shoes and pants and stuff. I would just let him go get it. So part of that I will take on my own, but not all of it. So anyway, we end up losing pretty much everything, except for his Jeep. We got to keep that. I owned my car at that time. So we didn't lose our cars, but we did lose everything else. Our home and our marriage. Um, I tried. I fought. He did fight too for a little bit. But we did have another situation. He had new friends that he was kind of hanging out with more and more, every day. One of them was an older gentleman who had a daughter. That was his good friend in high school. And they became friends. We were actually kind of friends too. Not to the point where we were hanging out with each other or anything like that, But if I would have seen her in the store, I'd be like, hey, how's it going? Same with her. She'll always act like she liked my daughter and I. Yeah. My husband, he, I don't know. I don't, I don't know. I'm not gonna go into great details. But anyway, they became really good friends. He started doing Bible study with her dad. Um, yeah, it's still really hard because I still really loved him. And I think deep down I really still do love him. The divorce finally went through. It looks like the 60 days period, or yeah, the 60-day period's up. So now we're just waiting for the judge to sign off on it, and then it will be totally through. I thought it was through after the 60 days. I thought the judge automatically just signed it off after the 60 days, but I guess not. So it's still in the process. I thought it was all done, but it's not. But in between that time, me and my kids moved out from our home that we were losing, and we moved into a 2 little bedroom house. I called it my tiny home. I'm telling you what, if you can't do Tiny homes were not for me. I could not do one of those tiny homes because I just lived in one for 6 months to 7 months. I can't do it. I could never. I thought I could. I thought, oh, I could do a tiny home. No problem. I would love it. But no. I found out living in a tiny home with two teenager adults and myself with a cat was not my forte. Not my cup of tea. So, in between that time, we did try to work it out. I did come back. He moved across the street to a rental on our same street. He moved there, and it did. And then he kept saying he was lonely. He missed me. So I kind of moved back in with him for about 2 to 3 weeks. Well, let's just say that did not work out. There was issues there. He would leave, not come home until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Then we both were so tired because I couldn't sleep because I would get worried about him or, start thinking things. And well, anyway, one night I got worried because he told me he was going to go running at the lake. We don't live in a bad town or with a lot of crime town, but it was enough. We've had enough crime. I was getting worried, especially at 12 o'clock at night. So I leave my kids sleeping at his house because that's where I'm at, waiting for him to get home. He still hasn't shown up. I've called him. I've texted him. Nothing. So I go driving around where he said he's going to go running. I see a car at one end of the area. I'm like, that looks really familiar. So I go ahead and go up all the way up to the other side of the area and find his truck. And I said, and he come hurry up flying out of the there was bathrooms there. So he came flying out by the bathrooms. I said, what are you doing? I said, I've been calling you. Are you all right? He goes, I'm fine, Nellie. Just get in the car and go home. I said, no, I want to know what's been going on. I said, I seen that person's car down there. And he basically made me feel like the bad guy because of the situation that he got caught in. Nobody really knows this side of that part of the story, so I'm just letting you guys all know. It was really hard that night. Very, very hard. He's blamed me for quite a few of the situations that have gone on in our relationship. I blame myself for quite a few situations that have gone into our relationship. I am not no angel. Not by, definitely not by nothing. I will take quite a few blames for a lot of things, but not that situation. I did not force him into her arms, and it still hurts. That night, I felt like he chose her over his family. So, not being the Christian woman I should have been that night, I jumped in my car and chased her down. I did not get in her face. I just stopped my car about halfway in between her and I, jumped out, and she kept walking. I said, he's mine. I'm fighting for him. I'm not going to give him up. And she turned around. She had enough nerve to turn around and tell me I didn't deserve him. And I was a horrible wife to him. So I was like devastated. She even said that. I have been there for 22 years with him, help raise his 3 children and our 2 children together. And then he's had a stroke. He's had health problems. When he's been sick, I was the one that was there every time. When he ended up in the hospital, not even a month before all this happened, I was there. And she had enough nerve to tell me I didn't deserve him. I was so shocked that she even said that. Now, part of me has started believing him or believing her. So, I come to his house. This is all Thursday night. Okay, almost 1 o'clock in the morning. My kids had school. I had work. I come home or to his house, grab my babies. Okay, my babies are 21 and 19. I grabbed them because they were here at the house with us. I said, we're going back to my rental because I hadn't let it go yet. And they're like, okay, Mom, what's wrong? I said, I'll tell you guys later. Let's just go so we can get you back to the house and get you guys in bed. So, which they were upset because I was upset. They really didn't know much. Anyway, we go back home. I cry myself to sleep. I think about 3 o'clock in the morning, he calls me, crying and begging me, telling me he's sorry. They deleted her number. He deleted her off of Facebook. And by the way, that's kind of like how they met. So they I was like, okay. We go and talk to our pastor, and we get counseling. My pastor tells me, what to do. I said, yes, sir. And I start doing it automatically. And it's something I probably should have been doing a long time ago. So, I'm not for sure the timeline, but it only lasted. Let's see, we went and seen our pastor probably maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks before Father's Day. I think Friday or Saturday before Father's Day, he just calls it quit all of a sudden. He says, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. It's like, okay. I was tired of fighting. Maybe I should have fought harder, but I was done. I was like, fine. He got his Jeep like he wanted, and then he wanted out of the relationship, so I was done. Actually, I didn't even want to go help sign for the Jeep. I tried to get out of it. I cried the whole time I was signing for him to get this Jeep. So some other stuff came up and I had to go and do something else for the people who we bought the Jeep from. And I said, sorry guys, my hair is a mess. I said, I would like to have a new car too. I said, is there any way I can get a new car too? The salesman was like, yeah, I can get you a new car if we do it right now. I said, okay. Went to pick up my kids. And we went and looked at me a new car. They got me in a new car. And I pay totally a steal for my car. And I love it. I got me a nice house now. It is a rental, but it's big. I'm out of a tiny home now. God's blessing me. I have a good job. I have my daughter and I are now, and my son, and we are in a good spot. I have not, in between all this, I have not gave up my religion. I have not gave up on God, because it's not his fault. None of this is God's fault. I love God. And I love my church. And that's one thing I didn't say. If, really honestly, if it wasn't for me living for God and having, sorry guys, I keep touching my camera, having the backup of my church, I honestly don't think I would have made it. The pastor's wife and a couple of the other ladies, the day that the divorce was over with the 60-day thing, they text me and they're like, Nellie, we're praying for you. We just want to know we got your back. And that's how it's been the whole time. Our youth group has helped move me twice now and not ask for anything. They didn't ask for no money. They didn't ask for no, I had to beg them to let me buy them pizza this last time. The first time I really didn't have the finances to do that, but this last time I did. And my sisters in the church have just totally wrapped their arms around me and just grabbed me and hold me. And I really, really do thank God for a church that has helped me stand strong and has prayed for me and has prayed over me. And I know right now, if I call my pastor, even though he's out of town, and tell him I'm just struggling, he would stop everything and pray with me. any of my church family would. And my family. My family has been totally strong. My mother, my sister, my brother, my sister's good friend. She would totally, they would be like, oh, come and stay the night and hang out with us. We'll play cards. So yeah, they are, they're being really, really helpful. And my work friends, those silly girls, they have been, I've had a lot of support. And a woman doesn't always have the support when she goes through something like this. And I'm blessed that I did have that support, and I still have that support, and that they are there for me at this time of my life, because my ex does not, and I am so sad for him. I'm so worried for him, because he's cut his ties with everybody and kind of went this other way, and he doesn't have the support. His family is not close, and they're not really giving him the support because they just don't understand why he chose somebody else. Because honestly, I mean, I know I made my mistakes, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm just worried about him, and I pray for him. I really do. I know you guys probably think, oh yeah, right. No, really, honestly, guys, if you look at my prayer notes, you guys would see I pray for him. He's getting ready to have surgery on a tear on his shoulder next week. And on top of that, he might have cancer. And I'm so worried for him. And because he's gone through so much with his health, he really has. And now through everything, he's always has had his family. Well, like me and the kids, he's always had us there. For every surgery he's had, for every hospital situation. He's had a stroke. His brothers came running. His mom came running. I was there. His kids were there. His church family was there. And I'm so scared he's not going to have nobody there except for a handful of his friends that he's made since he's left us. And I don't know how good of our friends they are. I've heard different stories that they're not as close as friends with him as they made it sound like the grass is not as green over there as he thought it was going to be. But that's just hearsay, and they might be just telling me that to make me feel better, but it's not. It actually makes me feel worse. So I am doing better though. Yes, I still sometimes will start crying and say why. I never in my dreams thought something like this would go in my life. And I texted him the other day because we have our kids, and sorry. And I was texting him about our daughter. And I said, I'm so sorry. I keep polishing, even still today, the things I've done. And things I could have probably maybe done different. Still today, I apologize to him. Because I feel like I let him down. But I pray for God to be in his corner. Because that's where God needs to be. I already know he's with me. And I already know where I stand with my families that I have. I have my work family, I have my church family, and I have my family. And they have all stood by me and loved me. And my family still loves Troy, or loves him. So, that's where I'm at right now. I'm worried for him, yes. But I'm getting stronger every day with my relationship with God. I love getting up in the mornings and finding my scripture that's on my phone, the daily scripture. Sorry, I keep yawning on you guys. But God's been good to me. And I really, really, really do want to thank my family and my church family and my work family. And even you YouTuber family. You guys, some of you guys have reached out to me and told me that you're praying for me and that I'm in your prayers and stuff like that. And I really do appreciate that. And I pray that my ex-husband finds his way back home to God and to his family, because he needs them. He really does. But I just wanted to give you guys that update. I'm doing much better. Don't know if I'm actually gonna put this up, but if I do, you guys are gonna know. But yeah, I feel like I'm in a really good spot, and I'm gonna try to get back on doing my hauls, but they probably be only from every 2 weeks. Maybe I'll do a Q&A or some kind of other video in between that. In between that, I want to do a hair video because I've been using this certain shampoo, and I really want to do a thing on it and let you guys know what I think about it. But as of now, this has already been a really long video, and I want to go back and kind of watch it and see if I like it enough to give it up to you guys. Okay, thanks guys for watching me. Thanks for praying for me, for the ones who have been, and keeping in touch with me. I really do appreciate that. I am going to give you guys a tour of the house. I just want to try to get a couple more little tweaks here and there. Here's a little tweak of my bedroom. Psych. But yeah, so like always, God bless you. Have a great day.